It's
You
not
ready?
my sign, it's our sign.
Call the meeting to order. First item is to thank the outgoing commissioners, Gary and Steve. I'd like to thank both of you for your years of service, and I understand there's a couple others where theirs are done, but are planning on rejoining us, correct?
Correct.
We do, oh, she's here. Okay, just in time. We have some certificates for you, and Kathleen will be handing them out.
This is the mayor of the city of Yulon. Thank you
You're very welcome.
for your service.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Best wishes to you.
Get another one right now.
Thank you for your service.
Not dead yet.
I'm sorry, Steve. Get your very own day.
Yeah, it's Gary Klimek Day coming up. Can't wait.
Thank you.
Okay. Next order would be roll call.
Present tonight we have Larry Mack, Carolyn Smith, John Vorwerk, Steve Balza, Brian Filzen, Lori Reiser, Gary Klimek, Dick Saboth, Keith Roloff, Ron Wendinger, and ex officio Mayor Kathleen Becker. Absent Jeremy Reed.
Okay, the next item will be 3.1, election of officers for next year. Well, we know for sure Steve will not be here, so we'll start out with president.
I nominate Keith Roloff.
I second that.
Loud and proud, too.
Awesome. We're not going to stop this juggernaut.
Okay, any other nominations?
Nations.
We have a motion to close the nominations. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Since there's only one candidate, he will be elected as president. Now, vice president.
Nominate Dick Seabooth. I will second that.
We have a motion, a second for Dick. Any other nominations?
A motion to close the nominations.
We have a motion to close the nominations. Is there a second?
I second it.
There's a motion and a second. Since there's all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Since there's no one else, welcome, Dick.
Congratulations to you as well.
Now, this one, we're gonna need somebody. Secretary, Steve will not be coming back to us. I will take nominations from the floor for a secretary.
It would be ideal if the person that has got the interest and the penmanship to do it nominates themselves.
Yes, that would have been my hope. Boy, it got quiet.
You got to make an appointment.
Well, we've had a couple people try it out in the last couple months. Maybe they want to continue.
No, really not.
I don't take notes, so
Take notes for an answer.
never have in school either.
Well, maybe there's a possibility that we've got some new appointees that are coming on board
next month.
for 2024.
And
Maybe-
if Kathleen was on the ball, she has someone with very good penmanship that she's. Do you?
I've taken a written test. It wasn't for information, it was for whether or not I could read their penmanship.
Well,
Good job.
well, maybe we
Hold off on that one?
hold off on that one and
I would
and
accept the motion to postpone that till next month.
I will make that motion.
And there's a motion to postpone the secretary
second.
and a second. Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Minutes.
Mr. Chair, I reviewed the minutes that were sent out in advance. They appear to me to be what we transacted in November. I'll move the minute.
Okay, I have a motion to accept the minutes
I'll second that motion.
and a second for that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Financial report. Did everybody see that there was no new revenue? We did have an expenditure for the sign, for our sister city sign, $312.33. She says it will appear on the December financial report. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Mr. Chair, just to be a little bit more specific, there will be some charges coming against that proposed posting as we'll be billed by the state of Minnesota because they have to install the one at 1415. So additional charges will come. That's not the whole bill, but it's coming along.
I move that they take it out of the perspective, the budget surplus they're going to have again. That'd be my movement. Projected surplus. There a second?
Oh, I'm sure that would carry. I'm not sure we got the authority.
Oh, okay, all right. Thought it was worth a try.
Yeah, it was worth a shot. So we're gonna have another.
There will be additional expenses posted to the account,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, then if I can get a motion to accept that as written here?
The regular
Of the
account,
financial-
yes. The sinking fund or the special purposes account, I just have one statement to add.
Okay,
And on that one, the expenses for our Sister Cities weekend are enumerated there, but on the advertising expense for the radio, it also includes the advertising expense for the tour earlier in the year. So all the advertising expenses for the radio were lumped into one line item, so that it's not indicative of just what happened for the Sister Cities, because the radio ad for the Sister Cities weekend was $93 and some cents. So just so you're aware of that.
okay.
Thank you for that clarification.
Are there any other additions or information on that?
I'll move both financials for the full financial report.
I will second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, the exchange. The press release was mailed, and the release was submitted to the Journal and Facebook. There's been no applications so far unless something came in the last few days, but I doubt it. I haven't heard anything. So we'll just have to wait and see if anybody, well, didn't we have one last year that was interested? It was the two ladies that were,
That's correct. I believe we had one that we said, make sure she applies
Yeah.
again this year.
yeah, she goes to school down south someplace or something?
She was in Texas, and that was Greg and Lori Howard's daughter,
Okay.
so.
So I'm hoping that she applies again. She was a good candidate, but we'll have to see what happens. So that'll stay on the agenda. Okay, has anybody got any more comments on that? Otherwise, we'll move on to the old business. Okay, Gary, you and Steve have, in regards to the video segments, do you want to update us on those? No?
I saw in the minutes, my name was mentioned, I had nothing to do with it, so I'll just pass the ball to Carrie and.
I really did think that you were carrying that one,
2
but
years ago, you and I talked about it, right?
because that kind of threw me a little bit, because that's not the story I got from Lisa when they talked there, that Gary was the one that was kind of, helping to change that, update it and get it a little bit
Yeah, I can-
user-friendly.
So, reviewing a little bit, the whole thing was kind of hinging on being able to get something for easy access, like for the college kids or high school kids, and once we got that QR code, then we thought, well, that's easy, that they can use their cell phone, put on a screen, it pops up right away what they get to see, and so we're using it. And then upon looking at it, thought that, like, the interview needed maybe a little bit more of an introduction or something, so it was pretty tight schedule at NewCat up till Thanksgiving, and we did make a recording last week. But I first saw the edited version about 2 hours ago, and I actually didn't transfer through completely. But this morning, I don't know if all of you were able to see, well, it was emailed to you, the script that we were using, if you got to see it or not. As you see, it's divided into sections. I'd hoped that when I was making it, that there would be pictures throughout the whole thing, and they didn't have to look at me, because I was about the only one around available, a narrator at the time. And I only had two, because it turns out, like, asking Bridget's mom, she never, I guess, took a picture of the place she worked. But we would like to find is maybe when we go to the segment after the few words in the beginning about how long we've been doing this and how many students we've sent, to have some pictures when I'm mentioning those different businesses that people have worked at, to have some pictures. And so if any of you know of someone that had gone in the past, and they might have a photo in front of the building or in the work setting, if they did, that'd be great to put on there along with this introduction to it. And then as you see, as the introduction went on after that, it mentions that that thing, that's more than just work, that you can you tour the area, and then they mentioned that the commission, the date, the timing of it, November 15th to the end of December. And I'd put in there that the end of December is the cutoff being the postage stamp or the email date. I think that's what we've been going with, right? Didn't we have one in the
be
past that we
consistent.
decided was too late? Of course, that's when we have a number of them sometimes. We don't have any, and one comes in then. But the other thing that is, another thing I was looking at is if you read it, if you thought there's something else that maybe should be added to it, or something that should be taken out of it. Right now, it takes about 2 minutes, so it's not very long for people to view. And then it refers to, so we did not, last month we were thinking that it should maybe be attached right to the interview. And then we thought, well, maybe there might be another interview coming along later on, so I made it a little more generic by referencing that the interview is done by a third party and go back to the website and take a look at what's there. So we could add another interview next year possibly, because NewCat, they were very interested in doing that. In fact, the boys at NewCat, or people at NewCat, said they would like to see a 1-minute version, because I think they're thinking of being able to put that on maybe their communication, which is something we haven't done. And they wanted a 1 minute, if we could shorten it to 1 minute too. So I guess
Is this something we have our participants here be involved in? I think the video would be better with your participants than us. Especially the people you're trying to lure to be a part of this program, they're going to relate to them more than they're going to relate to us. Should we think about making this part of what they do when they're here? Or those that are going over to Germany? I mean, if NewCat is willing to work with it, I think it's a great idea, but I think it appeals more to people that we're trying to get to be a part of this program, that we're trying to recruit, if we have people that have been involved.
They were interviewed by New.
They were, yeah.
So maybe they could, do some editing and, if they want to shorten it up and then run part of that. Because now you'd have two of them, because we had the incoming and outgoing one there at the same time, didn't we?
Yeah.
That would maybe be a good idea if they could do that. Just shorten it up enough to, I don't know.
Depending on how the interview went.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing.
That's not the first time, that's not the first time we've had two of them together, the ingoing and outgoing. We did something at the high school one year, I think you were with us, Brian, and they interviewed both of them. And I have pictures that Holger Tietz sent me from Germany that shows them in the workplace and shows them at homes. Do you want those? I'll get them all together
That'd be
for you.
great,
Good.
yeah.
And I have kids from here. We don't want that, though. We don't need anybody from here at work sites, do we?
Yeah, probably not if we're trying to promote. that
I think
point, but,
you can have both. I
I have some of
mixture.
that.
think you can have both.
For sure, I have, like, when we sent somebody to the Journal. They worked at
I
the
know
Journal.
New Ulm Realty's got pictures of
Right.
them with all the staff.
We should ask the kids who go across to always bring back pictures.
That was
for
one
us.
thing that I would recommend.
That's
that.
an excellent
Back
idea. We
Picture
should do
of the
that.
places they've worked at.
But I for sure have, I'll go through everything I have and see what I know I have Holger Tietz gave me a whole thumb drive full of our students, our kids.
Well, the information that's mentioned in here is not part of any of the interview. The interview was about 20 questions, and it was kind of a chronological listing of how they found out about it, and then how they got there, what they did there, and then their assessment when they came back, what they felt about it. So the material that was in here was given, first of all, a little bit of a history, since we've been doing it since 1988, what sort of jobs they were doing, because then someone's looking at it and say, oh, there was somebody that was in education, there was somebody in banking, there was somebody that worked in pharmaceutical, it gives you and this was just touching the tip of the iceberg. There's 35 students, a whole bunch, there were probably more than 25 different occupations.
I'm sure, yeah.
that they were in there. A lot of them went education, but still there are a number of other fields. So, yeah, I guess it's either, yeah, if it would be nice having someone younger doing it, we'd have to.
Oh, no, I think it's a good start. I think it's something we should look at year in and year out. If NewCat is willing to do something like that, why not have those? I mean, because they should do something like that. I think that'd be great. They're going to listen to those people more than they're going to listen to us. Except for like Keith, but the rest of us, because he's the
Yeah.
president.
Yeah.
But,
Well, and, every time you do it, say if you did it yearly, you've kind of got an online record, and somebody might recognize somebody, he or she, and stuff like that, and say, I want to go check out that place of employment, or,
and I think, the people that are involved in this program would enjoy doing something like
yeah,
that.
I think it should be a requirement.
If NewCat is willing to work with them, then
Yeah.
it makes it that much easier. And
That's the thing,
like you
yeah,
say,
they're
you could
willing
have-
to,
It's exposure.
Yeah, you can just grab a little highlight, like you say. One highlight for me of my experience was, you can have little tidbits. This is what we want you to share on the video, and then they can edit it to 1 minute, or we can suggest edits to get it to 1 minute if that's what NewCat prefers. I think that's great.
Okay, for now though, are we going to use what Gary did and
I
put
think so.
pictures in with it, or are we going to wait enough plan?
Yeah, my conversation today with them is they have it edited, of course, as you can see on it, right now it's a lot of my face picture, and they said, well, maybe we should go down in front of the museum and redo it or something, or somebody else go down and do it. But if there were more pictures, the more pictures in it, the less they see of me. Yes. So,
2 minutes long, Gary. You won't wipe them out, but I think if,
well, they were hoping if we could pick up some more pictures, they would actually redo it this week.
Well, Caroline's got some pictures.
I do have, the Regelman kids, I will send them to NewCat or I'll send them to Gary. Gary can
Yeah.
get them over. I'll send them tomorrow.
I think we got a plan.
And I do like that idea, updating it every year to show the new people and where they've been working and pictures of what we can show of the businesses. Some of them I'm sure don't want a lot of information out there, but
And you could possibly make an archived section right next to it, which have keep the old ones there in
Yeah.
case someone wants to look at one from 2 years ago or whatever.
Yep.
I hate to do this to you, Gary, since you're being done at the end of this month, but can you follow up on that and
Yeah, I
get that done yet?
Sure.
Maybe Gary will still be a Friends of the Commission and still
Yeah.
attend the parties.
Yes.
I didn't wear my shirt yet tonight. Yes.
There we go. Do we need a motion for Gary to do that? To follow up on this?
I think you can appoint him or ask
Yes.
if he agrees to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, since he said he would do that, we'll let it go up on that one. Recognition award. I didn't see where there was a meeting.
We haven't, we didn't notify them yet. We are going to
We're
do
this
that.
close to setting a meeting. We have names.
Yes, we have names.
We just haven't all met.
Okay.
Well, according to our supervision from the mayor's office, we need to have meetings scheduled in this office and on the agenda in order for it to be sanctioned. So please get a
Well, let's see.
reservation
Let's
with
do it.
Lisa.
Yeah, talk
And
to Lisa and she'll do.
I know it won't be a particularly long meeting, but it needs to be sanctioned appropriately, so.
Has to be legal. All right. Okay, so that will get postponed until January. It'll be in our January's meeting. Sister Cities entry signs. One of them is up, right?
Actually,
Or
two of them are up.
Two of them are up. It's just the state one, or which
Okay,
one?
the two signs, sisters, that are posted right now is the one that comes in on Highway 37, and if you came in on Highway 27, the old road to Sleepy Eye. Those two are up. The state has to put up the sign at the Y at 14 and 15. And since we do have one of them up and we aren't buried in snow, I think we should have a photo op, and I would defer to the mayor to help us organize an appropriate photo op for the Journal, and that way we can announce to the community what those are doing there.
Yes. We'd like to set up a date that would work for, it would have to be
As many
like-
of us as can.
Yeah, it's
Possible.
probably later in the day if possible, because we do still have a few people that are employed here.
When we hit something on the lunch hour.
Well,
Kathleen, what do you
okay,
think?
we got one, maybe two, I don't know.
I was looking at a date, I had talked, Dick and I had just talked briefly about this, and looking at Thursday, and if it were during the daytime, during the lunch hour, 12:30, or if it was later in the day, 4:30, on the 7th, that's up Thursday.
Well,
It'll be dark at 4:30.
4:30 is gonna be too
Pretty
dark.
dark. We'll probably have to try around noon.
4 o'clock?
Let's do noon.
No, I have a meeting at 4.
Yeah,
Noon.
let's shoot the noon,
Does it,
12 o'clock or
12:30?
12:30.
30.
and let's make it at the Highway 37 sign. It's right next to the stone New Ulm entry sign when you come in.
By Hy-Vee?
Yeah, straight up from Hy-Vee.
It's right at the railroad tracks.
Across the river.
Count it, yeah.
Well, it would be.
Valley Street
it would
and
be
the
by
railroad
former
tracks.
Putting Green Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be,
Just past it where the,
be able to park right by the putting green there and,
yeah, now it's all
Yeah.
gardens, but yeah.
yeah.
So as many can
So
possibly
12:30
make
at
it.
12:30?
12:30 Thursday? That's all.
Thursday. Okay, can I have a motion to set that time? I think we, there's a motion
Second,
and a second. Any other questions?
no, just a comment that I will contact the Journal to make sure their staffing is available.
Otherwise,
And
you just send in a photo, don't you, pretty much, or?
I want them to come take the picture and then they could get some copy.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. All right, new business. I need a motion and a second to change our January meeting to Monday, January 8th because of the New Year's holiday.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed, same. Motion carried. I will get a hold of Lisa. I'm pretty sure she probably has that already penciled in. Okay, starting next, I think this one is probably for me. She put that in there under the announcements. Remember that committee preferences for 2024 will be selected during the January meeting? I'll get the forms, we'll send them out. I guess I blew that one last year because I didn't send her the forms. We had them, but I just didn't send them to her. I guess that's not the way you do it. Yeah, that's not the way to do it. Once we get the committee set up, then I've got to give it to her, all the forms and stuff, so she must keep them, so. So that'll be on the agenda, so think about that for next month, what committees you'd want to be on, and we'll go from there.
Can you share with us what the committees are?
Okay, where did we get that? One of them is the recognition committee. And then there's what are there? Oh, the communications or,
Communications, and then there's what, for the applicants
that's
too?
for the applicants for the,
Right.
yeah. I think those are the only three, right? Yeah. One other thing, it's not on the agenda, but did everybody see the letter that we got from the mayors that came out? From the mayors of Alma and Nahum? I thought that was really nice of them to send that out.
I did too. Where did we get it on?
Did we
Was it?
receive it in an email?
And I think we sent it out, once it came in, we just sent it as a blast email to all the commissioners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I got it as an email, so.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Okay, the next meeting will be January 8th, 5:15. Don't forget the December 7th for the picture at 12:30. Now, if I have a motion to adjourn,
Move.
there's a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
I will second that.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?